So the biggest value that I see in the formation and evolution of MAPS as an organization is the fact that it is a medical affairs society led by and driven by professionals in that space who really understand and can work on the issues that are common across medical affairs organizations. I also see this as an important community whereby we can partner together and work together to really address some of the common issues and needs that we're all facing, within our respective companies, but also at a time of great change and transition in our industry, as we figure out how to work with our stakeholders, whether it's new guidances coming from FDA, whether it's new opportunities, new technologies that impact how work gets done. And we wrestle with all of this often individually within our companies. So the power and beauty of MAPS is that we now have an organization that can really help us come together to solve some of these issues together. Well, the annual meeting has been tremendous. I came here looking forward to an exchange that really has been far exceeded my ambitions and thoughts coming for two reasons. Number one is I think there's a genuine interest from the delegates to support each other and to work together, and I actually have been very impressed by the partnership that we're seeing, not just as colleagues, but also from our support teams, whether it's our various vendors who work with us on solving some of these problems. So a big difference that I've seen in the conference presentations is it hasn't just been questions to solve my individual issue, but I've seen people participate in the conversation and in the discussion to help move towards solutions to some of the issues that have come up during the meeting. So I think that sense of community, that sense of problem solving has been very encouraging and rewarding. The other thing about the conference that I feel is different, and it's very much part of the vision of MAPS, is to identify as we're moving through the days here to understand where do we go next. And there are lots of fantastic ideas as far as things we can work on post this conference. So I know for sure this is not going to be a once-off event. I feel like we're getting a lot of input that will really drive and have a guidance for us as we leave this conference to what the next steps are for the MAPS organization. The engagement, the nature of the dialogue, and of course the quality of the dialogue as well is tremendous, because we really have people here who are passionate about medical affairs and bring a lot to the discussion. So it doesn't feel like a once-off event for me, and I definitely sense a connection that will continue until our next conference, but I also am looking forward to continuing that interaction with the people here and hopefully have a broader community available and working with us as we move towards our next conference. I think there are three things that I'm leaving the conference with. Firstly, the need for medical affairs and us as medical affairs professionals to step up in a greater capacity of advocacy. I think coming here, we've always had the sense, and personally for me as well, that we need to continue to advocate for medical affairs within our organizations. What has really come through for me is the need to actually take that advocacy to a different level, quite frankly, as it relates to issues that we're all wrestling with, whether it's new guidance from FDA on how we can share information with non-healthcare providers, for example. I think everyone is wrestling with this, and a position statement has been mentioned. It's like we need a position statement, we need medical affairs to articulate what this means, because it really fundamentally changes how we view exchange of information, which is core to what medical affairs is all about. So that's just one area and an example of where I think the MAPS organization and our members are going to find a new dialogue taking place. The other great thing about this conference that I've learned, and it's sort of like a sense of security, is the issues are very similar, but also the opportunities for innovation are available to all of us, in the sense that, I mean, sometimes you would feel, well, bigger organizations have more opportunities than smaller ones, but I think as a society, I think we can support each other and work together to actually innovate together and pull some of that learning and those opportunities, working again with our partners back into our workflow when we get back. The last thing I would say is I am very sure that MAPS is on the right track. We have as a leadership team for MAPS been discussing and brainstorming how this organization can really help and foster our professional, our constituents. And many of the things that we have been brainstorming, are being reinforced in the discussions that I've been having this week. And whether it's something as relatively straightforward as the availability of templates to, let's get together and work on some SOPs that obviously always would need to be customized back in an individual's organization, but there are some common standards that I think as an organization, MAPS can really help support and really expedite and make life easier for our members when they go back to their respective companies. So feeling very good about the direction we're heading, and this conference has really been a very important forum for dialogue and consolidation of our thinking around really what it is. But needless to say, this is going to continue to evolve, with hopefully a lot more participation at our next one, so that we can continue to move the mission that we're all focusing on forward.